Police confirm that they are investigating this as a double homicide. Now, it all happened in this home here behind me. Neighbors tell me that the couple hadn't lived here for very long, maybe a couple of years, that they kept to themselves. It sounds like they had at least one adult child who occasionally would come by the house. Now, news of what happened definitely disturbing for neighbors.
It's shocking. I just can't believe it.
Oh my gosh. This is just, that doesn't happen here. This is a great neighborhood. We love living here.
Crime tape near the 7400 block of Via Rivera after police found an Asian couple in their 50s dead inside their Torrey Highlands home. Neighbor Carla Flores says last night police told her this.
There were no signs that there was going to be any, that we were in danger. But that's all he could disclose.
Investigators say this started around 10 p.m. Saturday. Concerned relatives called police asking officers to do a welfare check on the house. The couple was expected in San Francisco earlier that day, but never showed up. Police knocked on the door and tried to call the couple, but there was no answer. An officer looked through a rear window and saw someone lying on the living room floor. Investigators forced entry into the house and discovered the two victims. Both had trauma to their upper bodies. It's unclear when they died. Police say there were no signs of a break-in. We spoke to Lieutenant Martha Sines by phone.
No one else was found inside the residence.
Do you have any idea of any suspects at this point?
At this point, there are no suspects at the forefront, so we're still, again, talking to people to try and determine, if anyone saw anything, if anybody has any information in the recent couple days.
Neighbor Randy Avon.
I am so sorry to hear this. This is so sad.
Other neighbors tell us they rarely saw the couple and that they had never heard of any disturbances there before. Avon says his heart goes out to the couple's relatives.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what they're going through. I mean, it would just kill me if something like that happened with a family member, you know? I mean, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
And at this point, the names of those victims have not been released.